Hey everyone, today we're heading to one of Japan's most underrated cities in my opinion. And the nice thing about this city is it's not super heavy on tourists, so that usually means, you can find more gems. So, that's what we'll be doing today. We'll be looking at quite a few different card shops here in Fukuoka and seeing if we can find some rare cards and hopefully at a good price. So this first card shop was super nice. They let me film in here and they had basically a huge range of different cards starting from modern. You can see a lot of the latest sets. That's plastered all over the walls, so you can definitely take a lot of time in this shop. But I think you're bound to find something cool. So right away I spot the Pokemon Center exclusive, the Graffiti Pikachu, and I also saw the Kanazawa Pikachu, which sort of represent the Pokemon Center opening. It's a promo given away during that event. And there's a bunch of gold cards, a bunch of ultra rares, and a lot of trainer cards as you guys see here, but all in pretty good quality. And we also have more sort of like Sun and Moon era for us. But also we have a lot of vintage, which I was super interested in. And some of these vintage holos, they were priced pretty well. So for reference, it's about $10 for a lot of them, 10 to 20 bucks for a lot of the WotC era holos. So I did end up picking some of those up, but yeah, as you go along the walls, you can see some of these trainer cards are probably geared towards the players in Japan. But yeah, there's literally so many walls of cards. So it did take me like half an hour just to actually look through each of these walls in detail. And obviously these card shops also have a bunch of packs you can choose from, not just Pokemon, other TCGs as well. And one interesting tip for you guys is if you guys are going to Japan, a lot of these card shops actually sell their sort of booster packs cheaper than the Pokemon Center or at the same price. So I think it's important to compare prices before you do make a decision. So sometimes you're able to save quite a bit more if you just buy it from these local shops. And yeah, this is what the room kind of looks like. It's literally all Pokemon. And this is sort of my favorite area. You can see the Diamond and Pearl era of the Japanese sets, as well as the WotC era cards. And so this is a bit more in detail of what they had. And yeah, as you guys can see, I did pick up a number of WotC holos. Some nice Japanese promos were pretty cheap. And yeah, I was pretty satisfied with this first visit. So next I wandered around and I stumbled into what I consider a shack. So this was a super low-key store, but they did have some nice grails, a bunch of mid-era vintage stuff, but these were all in pretty decent condition. The cards were kind of just scattered in a box, and the owner just let me pick through it, see what I liked. It was, obviously it's a bit hard to communicate, but the moment I said old Pokemon cards, he knew exactly what I meant. So he hooked me up with a bunch of these level X cards, these Arceus sets, as well as the sort of just Diamond and Pearl holos. And so I was able to pick through them, and I try to look for copies that were as minty as possible. So I did end up picking some of those level X's up, obviously. Yeah, the Japanese holos just look so good. Then we took a look around the store. There was a lot of sealed stuff. So this store actually had quite a lot of high-end products, a lot of the older booster boxes, which are pretty pricey, but it was kept in super minty condition. And he even said that his Detective Pikachu boxes were the mintiest ones in Japan. And so yeah, the slabs that they got was super, super sought after, I would say. All sort of alt arts or hyper rare cards, and all in PSA 10s basically. So it was quite expensive. I wouldn't say it was worth buying any of those compared to eBay prices. We then visited one of my favorite collectible store in Japan, which is Mandrake. So anything collectibles, they basically got anything from what you guys see here, these Japanese sort of figures, to there's quite a lot of Pokemon stuff, but also obviously One Piece, different animes, and they had some really cool figures. But I mean, obviously we were looking for Pokemon cards. However, do have to check out the video game section, see you know, what kind of vintage stuff they got. But it seems like the store is super popular. You got a lot of people coming in, and I feel like it's always kind of busy no matter which location you go to. But yeah, soon we found, you know, the Pokemon section, and so this is actually my favorite visit during my whole Japan trip. And I'll explain in a sec, but if you guys see, there's a lot of different vintage Pokemon cards here, and they even have no rarity Japanese base sets. So that was arguably one of the first print runs in Pokemon history. It's similar to first edition base in English, but obviously the Japanese sets did come first. And they actually had a lot of different, you know, sort of Neo era expedition. They also have obviously more modern stuff. I see different Hidden Fates cards, as well as the sort of Japanese booster packs, as well as some of the collection boxes. I did end up picking one of those movie promos, or actually I think it's a Arceus promo. But it was quite old, and I liked how it was still in the original packaging. But yeah, very cool to see all these nice grails all at one place. And what I was really excited about is picking up some of the mystery packs here. They have been known to put together some really nice sort of vintage Pokemon cards, so stay tuned for that video. I did obviously have to pull some heat because this was, I think, again, like a low-key city, so not that many people visited. So I feel like there's not that many people that actually took advantage of some of the nice deals here, which you often don't see in more mainstream cities like Tokyo. And before we left the city, we had to obviously check out their Pokemon Center. They had quite a few packs, as you guys can see here. They were pretty in stock, except they didn't have Pokemon 151, but there is some of the newest releases, some of the theme decks as well. But yeah, you can see this is the sort of price for each booster pack. It's around $2 to $4 for some of the more expensive sets. But yeah, you can see there's a variety of deck sleeves. I feel like you don't get that here in Canada and the US, but you know, you don't get as much variety. Like, look at the amount of plushies they got here. There's so many different types, and they're all really good quality. They're all very detailed. You know, every Pokemon Center I've been to, I actually did end up picking some of the Pokemon Center exclusives. But yeah, I think that sort of wraps up this video. If you guys did enjoy this, please leave the like on the video, and you know, subscribe if you guys want to. And you know, please do check out my affiliate links in the description below. Those lead to websites I use and trust. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and have a good one.